What's up guys, welcome back to another Convicted Llama video. Today we're going to be looking at different building techniques and how you can use them in your Minecraft worlds. Let's go. Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe and turn on notifications to see more of this amazing content. Alright, first we have build palettes. So build palettes are very useful because you can see how the different blocks you want to use will look next to each other. And you can decide which blocks you're going to use. So this one, I've gone with wood and stone as the main theme. Then I've picked blocks for terraforming that will complement these blocks. Now, because these blocks all have quite flat textures, I've gone for coarse dirt and gravel and some cobblestone. So then you get a lot of texture variation in it. Then we've got I've built one with prismarine. Now, not many people actually use prismarine for building, but I think it looks quite cool if you use it right. And I've gone for some ice because, yeah, I think it looks cool together. It's quite complementing colours, I'd say. And they all sort of mix in, and they all have different textures, so it's pretty good. Yeah. Let's move on to the texture variation. And this can be done in quite a few different ways, but this way, so I've got some depth in here, then below I've used different textures. Like before, you would just have a flat wall, but if I put texture variation into it, then it looks a lot better, I'd say. So we've got either that or that, and I think that looks a lot better. And also you can add different sizes of block, like slabs, stairs, walls. Yeah. Alright, next I'm going to talk about depth. Now depth can be done in quite a few different ways, but mainly what you'll see is having corner blocks that sort of split up a main wall and one block out, so then you can have, so now I can expand this out by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then just put that there, and then I can fill it in and make a box. Now the problem with this is you end up with quite little space inside. If you see, I've only got 2 blocks inside. Like that. But it looks quite good from each angle. Then you can put a roof over the top of that. Now another way you can do depth is sort of by adding detail and just adding different bits. Like you could add windows, or yeah, you can add, so I'm going to go up a bit more on this side, so I can add a little window, just like so. Get some glass panes, put them in like that, and then you have to decide what block you're going to go for as like a windowsill kind of thing. I quite like using smooth quartz. It might not fit with this build palette, but it will. And you can also have some like shutters, or put some leaves on here, like that, or like that, like that. And then it sort of just adds a varied length of block. So yeah, I've put on this one, I've put in a sort of porch, so you can come out and sit on the porch and put your fist up at some kids on your lawn. Yeah, it's quite cool. Now this sort of ties into this as well, because if I built this in a village where it's really small buildings like these ones, oh, that's not very small, but yeah, if it's really small, then it wouldn't really make sense, would it? So what I've done here is I've taken like a little gravestone tomb thing, and then I've upsized it to fit in a different scale. Now you have to decide based on how big your other buildings are to how much you want to scale it up or scale it down. Now this, you could sort of make it like just by just doing this, I guess. Let's see what that looks like. And then putting some andesite slabs on top. like this. There, you could have one like that. Yeah, so it just matters what the other buildings in the area sort of look like and how big they are, as to how much you want to change the scale. Right, next we move on to detail. So detail is very useful because it can take a mediocre build from there to like almost like as good as you can get. Now it also helps you like make, even if it's a small build, you can still make it look good. So a great detail block is leaves, just sprinkling them outside like this, or you can make indentations in the wood by using stairs, and just sort of like, it doesn't work if you have like that, but yeah, like just putting a stair in here. Now other things you can use, so like carpets are good because one, you can hide lighting underneath them. If I just put some, if I get a sea lantern and put it in here, then look, you can hide the lighting and it still comes through. If you see, it says 12 block light. And they also give you some depth from the floor, so you can transition into different blocks, like so. Right. Also, you can make like seats out of different stair blocks and things, and paintings are also quite a good way to sort of mix it up. And then you can have shelves with all sorts of things in plant pots. I like putting cacti in them. Put the cactus in there. Then you can make like larger detail features, so things like fireplaces or like cellars or something. I don't know, whatever you want. And you can I put campfires in here. I could put hay bales under there, but it kind of ruins the aesthetic from this side. Then you can use it. All sorts of workstations are great for this. So like here, I've put this looks like an oven kind of, but really it's just furnaces with rails and then this thing that like sucks up the air. And I quite like anvils because they have a strange shape and it sort of adds depth, and you can do things like counters and all sorts of stuff just using workstations. Right, let's move on to terraforming. Now this is one of the most difficult ones because it is often thought of as quite difficult, but I think I've figured out a way to make it easy. So what I do is I start with stone and dirt. With the stone and dirt, then you take your stone and you start building up a sort of wall, but make it in lots of different shapes, like so, sort of like that. And then over the top, you can start building up some kind of a dirt like roof to it if you want, and then stick some dirt on top. Not always straight to the stone because it doesn't always work like that. Then we get some stairs and slabs like so, and put them in different places to add depth and different textures, and then you can work in some texture variation like I've done over here. Just sort of continue this round. And then we can have it sort of, it's quite difficult sometimes, it just won't work, but like over here I've done it quite well, I think. So yeah, you just mix in, and then you have to mix in lots of different blocks. So like I quite like using andesite. Normally I steer away from the polished blocks because they sort of give like a more unnatural vibe, I'd say. And then you can also, what I'd also recommend is putting things, I really like the look of coarse dirt. So putting some coarse dirt, mixing it in with some path blocks, it always looks pretty good. Like so. And then putting some path in there, maybe putting some gravel around or whatever you want. Yeah, I think terraforming is one of the most misunderstood ones. Everybody's scared of it, and sort of, it's really just quite easy. Just put some blocks down and eventually it will come. Alright, this has been, I don't know how many there is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different building techniques you can use in your own Minecraft worlds. Now, so we've got, let's look over them. So, we've got build palette, texture variation, depth again, scale, detail, and terraforming. Now, if you implement all of these into your builds, you can really make a good build, I think. It's really not that hard. One thing I'd like to add is, when you have terraforming, what you all can do, what looks great, is if you build a platform out of this terraforming, like make a circle, then build your house on top of that. What I really don't like is when people just build it straight onto the land that there is, without doing any terraforming work. Alright, so, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Goodbye.